Hello, gorgeous ladies. Hello, gorgeous alpha femmes. And welcome to day 3 of the Mentorship Masterclass. So this is the last and final piece of the puzzle, and I'm so excited to go through this together today. Let's see if I can get our background clear. When you're coming on, let me know how you're feeling. Have you been following along for all the 3 days? Is this your first day? Are you up to speed with everything? Let me just know. Are you hopping in with us for the first day, or have you been following along? This is what I want to know. Hello, Charlie. Hello, Mariko. Mariko, so happy, so excited. Hello, Theo. Hi, Sue. Hello, Valerie, Medina. Hello. Hi, Claire. So good to see you. I see echo bubbles. Hello, Tiffany. It's so good to see you all. Hi, Kristen. From Finland and Holland. Holy moly. Hi, Laura. Hello, Carolyn. Day 3. So good. I see Jennifer Bubbles. So excited to be here with all these powerful women. Suzanne Bubbles, Theo Bubbles. Hello, Sue. Just finished a call with my graphic designer. Ooh, Katie, that's so fun. Up to speed. So good. Katerina, so good to see you. Steph, so good to see you. It's been fire. Tandy Bubbles, yay, so fun. All right. I see Elizabeth Bubbles. I love seeing my people. Feels so good. Finally live, but caught up. So excited to be here. Yay, Leah. Rochelle, have been watching every day since day 1. Yes, so happy. Hello, Mary. Hello, Whitney. Hello, Stasia. Hello, Yankee. Hello. All right. So, we have got a very powerful module today, because what we want to look at is how to have the outside world recognize this mentorship. And this is sometimes difficult for us. Hello, Christy. I see Nicole Bubbles. Hello. I'm gonna say hi one last time to everybody. Just hello, and I am happy that you are here. And I'm gonna jump in. So how do we get the outer world to start seeing the work that we're doing on the inside? Because sometimes it feels like you've been leading yourself, you've been going through certain storms, you've been doing what it takes, and yet somehow the outer world isn't seeing you as the mentor you want them to see you as. And it gets so frustrating and infuriating. Like, I feel like I'm doing all the work, so why isn't this translating, and why aren't people seeing me this way, the way I want to be seen? So the mentorship status is what I have found is the finest, most difficult line to be squeaky clean with. So for those of you who follow along with me a lot, you hear me say squeaky clean, because squeaky clean means like you are so energetically crystal clear that there's no dissonance. I'm not confused about whether or not you're embodied in what you're saying. Like, I get it. I hear it, I feel it, I see it, I get it. You're squeaky clean in your energy. The mentorship line is very, very fine. So when you get there, it's got to be this really powerful stance that you take, and it's undeniable, and people can just feel like this person is embodied, and I feel it. And it feels so easy for me to say yes. Until you are straight, firm, certain on that line, as long as there's a wobble, what tends to happen is people notice the wobble more than the certainty. And this for me was the most difficult, frustrating thing in the beginning, because it was like, you don't understand how much of my life is actually good. Like, I'm above average in my emotional intelligence now. I'm above average in this and this and that. I'm above average in the way that I do all these things. Yeah, okay, there's this, then maybe I shouldn't have said that, and I probably shouldn't have done that, and like maybe my energy is not really, and then maybe I shouldn't have, but the majority, I'm amazing, and you should see, there's like a lot of people that are like really bad, and I'm not like that. I mean, for sure, I probably shouldn't have done that, and I probably, shouldn't have said that, and probably could have done better with that, but on the big scheme of things, so people can feel when there's a little energetic, and we've got to be okay with that. We've got to be okay with that. So the journey is to get to this place where you walk yourself through day in, day out, even though sometimes you wobble, and you're working so hard for it to not do that, but sometimes, you wobble. The mentor energy is one that even when you do wobble, people don't feel the wobble. You wobble so minutely that you're able to either pick it up right away, or you know yourself so sharp that you're like, I need some time for me to go clean this up before I come back and lead. And that amount of wherewithal is the emotional intelligence part. The understanding, like, I'm not perfect. A lot of people are saying I'm choppy. Let me try one thing. Give me one moment. Let's try this. Let me know if I'm clearer in the communication, okay? So what we desire and what we're wanting to create here is the energy of you're allowed to figure yourself out. You're allowed to take the space you need. And when you really are clear and that mentorship title becomes available for you and you claim it with all your power, it's going to make so much sense to you why it was wobbling before. You'll be like, of course I was wobbling before. I thought I was ready. I didn't understand what the word ready meant. This is ready. So of course I wasn't seen like a mentor before because I was wobbling. I now see what it feels like to not wobble. Now this is next level. Like, this is what we're talking about. This is amazing. You're going to see it so clearly once you're actually embodied that it was for sure not going to work the way you wanted it to be before. But in the moment when we're there and we're giving it our best, well, we think it's our best. And it may be our best at the time, but it gets better. And it's this understanding of evolution and growth over a lifetime that really gave me this freedom to say, look, one day I'm going to arrive at this place where my energy matches my intention. When my grandma used to say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Good intentions, good intentions, good intentions. Well, it isn't until your intentions and your results and your energy are lined up that it all makes sense. In the beginning, you have great intentions, but they're not paying off. But that's what it looks like to be lining up with it and aligning with it and doing your best and figuring it out, but it doesn't always pay off. And this is the thing that most don't want to do. They're like, well, I don't want to do it if it's not going to pay off right away. How long do I have to wait? Well, you're going to have to wait until you're aligned. Well, how long is that going to be? I don't know. Well, how long did it take her? It took her this long. It took her this long. It took her this long. Well, how long is it going to take me? I don't know. But one thing is certain is if you decide that it's going to happen, you're going to start leading yourself in a way that's like, I lead myself. I am not trying to put an image that I am something that I'm not. I am not trying to show you that I'm a mentor so that you'll pay me more. I'm not trying to show you that I'm this super evolved being. I just am one. And the difference between what you try to show people and who you are may not look like it's there for you. But to the outside world, it is so obvious, especially for the people who are empowered. So what does this look like? The difference between the true embodied leader, because mentorship equals leadership, right? The true embodied leader knows that they fit in, knows that they're magnetic, knows that all they need to do is show up and they're noticed. They don't need to try. Their energy walks into a room before they do, and it leaves long after they're gone. The embodied woman, the one who leads herself, she doesn't question it. She doesn't need to try to show things. She doesn't need to try to prove things because there's an energy to that. So one of the greatest question mark energies in the coaching world, in my opinion, is the celebration energy. How do I know that I'm not just bragging here? How come some people celebrate and I want to punch them, and other people celebrate and I want to throw a party and pop champagne with them? Why is it that some people go, I just want to share this incredible thing, I feel so happy, and in your heart you're like, oh my God, I love you and I'm so happy for you, and other people want to celebrate things and you're like, I want to punch you? Why? Because there are people who share with you because it's a win-win. I want to share with you because I'm so excited and I'm so grateful that you're there that I can share with, and I'm so excited. I don't even know who else I would celebrate with, but like I am so happy and I'm freaking out and I want to share something with you. And the other one is, ooh, if I share this, I might be able to sell that. So I'm going to share this to sell that. And that's just a win for me. There's no win for you. I'm just celebrating to you, not with you. I'm celebrating to you so that you can see how fabulous I am, so that you can see that I'm a mentor, so you can see that I'm a leader, so you can see me. What part in that is a relationship? What part in that creates sisterhood? What part in that creates connection, safety? None. Now, in a space where people want to be seen, it's difficult sometimes to make the distinction. I want to be seen. Being seen is good for me. When I'm seen, people buy from me. How do I remain a strong, energetic presence? And how do I stay so true to myself, even when that little energy that's like, maybe you could sell to them if you said that. Maybe write a celebration post and kind of plug in all the ways people can work with you at the same time. Write a celebration post and at the same time, let them know exactly what the name of your program is and maybe even the link if they want to buy it. Okay, celebrate and then tell them exactly what the name of your community is and tag the group. Okay, celebrate and, so sneaky. Celebrate and drop the cover image of your program and tell them that it's going to be launched tomorrow. Oh no. Okay. No, don't do that. They won't love you if you do that. But she did it. Okay, celebrate your, okay, I know. No, don't do that. Yes. Celebrate, but celebrate your client that just made a bunch of money, but also say which program it was and a link to buy that program. Okay. Oh gosh, somebody actually bought this. But it's sneaky. Oh no, I know it's sneaky. But she did it. So it's okay. Okay. Celebrate. And then also start an Instagram thread so that everybody follows you on Instagram. Okay. That's not selling. So celebrate and then post a picture of you, and in the background there's a picture of your sign about your business. Sneaky. And then if it doesn't get approved, what? Why didn't my thing get approved? I didn't do the thing. I didn't know. I just did what everybody else was doing. We're not allowed to put links. I just wanted to put it. I was just doing it because she did it, so I was thinking maybe that's just what we were supposed to do. Oops, I didn't know. Love me. Anyway, please, I'll never do it again. Sorry. So, The thing is, little sneakies, they work with the people who are really desperately needing to feel seen and who are given permission in that moment to be sneaky. So when you find yourself seeing these posts and liking them, even though you know in your heart that you're like, oh, she's sneaky. You sneaky alpha femme. But you find yourself going towards the like button and sharing something like, you go, girl. When inside you're like, it's because this person has now given you permission. From this point forward, if you were to proceed and do exactly what this person just did, you would now have the divine right to say, what? We're not supposed to do that? I didn't realize that we're not supposed to do that. She did that. Her. It's all her fault. See, I was just innocent. I was an innocent bystander, minding my own business. And then this post shows up, so I thought, it was let through. The alpha team let it through. So probably, I figured I would be allowed to. Sneaky. The people, however, who are super empowered, successful, all the things that are basically your ideal client are watching this going, that's against the rules. I worked so hard not to put posts like that. That just got let through. This is so infuriating. This is so annoying. I might actually leave the Alpha Femme group if other posts like this get let through. How is this happening? Right? Like this. So, there are moments in your business where you are going to be met with the sneaky mentor, the sneaky expert, the one who comes into your field and who's like, I am so happy to be here. Let me talk about me. Let's talk about me for a change. I'm so excited to be here. Let me give you 111,000 million credentials as to why you should now follow me. This person, there's many. It's not just one. There's many. Has all the best intentions in the world. There's not one part of this person that wants to hurt your business. As a matter of fact, if she's doing it, it's because she believes that she cannot hurt you. Because people don't come at you like that to hurt you. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. So the first thing I want you to do is take a big deep breath. Whenever there's a person like that in your space, they are not out to get you. This is not them trying to hurt you. Ever, 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 ever. This is a person who is just momentarily afraid that their leadership isn't being seen. So because they're not sure that just posting a picture of their magnetic gorgeousness and just celebrating and saying, I just need to tell you, I'm so grateful to be a part of a group like this. I am so grateful. I just had the biggest month of my life. I had this much, growth increase. Here are all the things that I've learned. Hey, John Amaro just bought the coach program. Yay. If you don't believe that just jumping in and being like, I am freaking out. I'm so happy. I just had this size of a business. Here are the things that I've learned along the way. Thank you for being here. That woman in that moment doesn't believe that would get her seen. So she adds more. And she adds more. And she adds more. And she's sneaky. Why is she sneaky? Because she doesn't want to get in trouble because she loves you. And she loves your space. And she doesn't want to get kicked out. And she doesn't want to break the rules. But she also really wants to be seen. And she doesn't believe that her simple excellence will shine through. So you can tell right away who's embodied by how hard they're trying when they post. And I want to tell you this because as you're figuring out how you're going to post along your journey, you're going to see it in other people after this conversation, but you're going to see it in yourself when you sit down to write. There is a difference between coming here or any place where there's really powerful humans and saying, I want to share with you because here I feel seen, here I feel held, here I feel important, here I want us to rise together as women, and I have this huge celebration and I feel like I can celebrate here with powerful women. And then a bunch of people leading themselves to her, because people will do that. The most powerful thing when you come into a network of women who are powerful, which you've got to trust, and this is something that's like next level leadership, is that people can lead themselves to where they want to go. So if you believe in how powerful you are, and you make a post in a group, like the Alpha Femme group, and you say, I want to celebrate my biggest month ever in business. I just had a $40,000 month. And I've never had a $40,000 month before. And I'm so excited. And it feels so good to be able to come here and celebrate. And, some of my biggest lessons I've learned is it's okay to do this. This is, this eventually works with time. I'm so glad I didn't quit. And something else, my lessons. No selling. There's no selling energy. I'm sharing with the women who aren't there yet. I'm held by the women who are. I just share that. The women will see you as a person that they want to be connected with. Networking and mentorship go hand in hand. Leadership, networking, mentorship. So what happens is that the one-on-one coaching, the private coaching, and the big spaces like masterminds are usually not the ones you need to sell. They're the ones that people choose you because of your magnetism. And we kill our magnetism when we overcompensate. When we try too hard, when we push too hard, when we say too much. The most leading edge people, the ones that would be drawn to us for our leadership, those ladies, in that moment, they question it because they're like, she's not yet there. She's not yet embodied. There's something missing in the way that she's talking. She's trying too hard, so something inside of her doesn't believe what she's saying, and then at that level, it stops. But where we shoot ourselves in the foot is that people still will buy our programs from that. So you will have people buy some of your lower end offers. You will have people buy some of your programs because the thing in their head and what's going to start to happen is like, if this person that's so blatantly not confident in exactly what she's doing, or else she wouldn't have posted this, she's had a $40,000 month, I want to learn what she knows. So you will be able to sell information in that energy. But information is the land of the coach. The mentorship, which is like, I want her to be the one that I walk with, that's what's going to be difficult. People will want to know what you know, but they don't necessarily want to do it like you because they don't like how it felt when they saw it. But they want to know what you know. So they'll buy your smaller stuff. They'll come into all your free stuff. They'll be in your world, but there'll be something missing from the big stuff that requires mentorship where it's going to feel like meh, 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 meh. And the money is where the mentorship is. The money is where the mentorship is. So my biggest piece of advice for you moving forward is that when you go to write a post, you're going to imagine that you're posting it in a group with only women who make more money than you. And ask yourself if it would be well received there. Or if there's a part of you that's writing it to impress the women who make less. If there's a part of you that's writing it to impress the women who make less, you are not in your mentorship. The posts that are the most magnetic are the ones where you would feel comfortable writing them in a group of women that are all making more money than you. They're all more powerful than you, and you would just want to post it to celebrate that you're a part of that tribe, of that group. Don't say tribe anymore. So you would want to own that part of you. and say, I am so proud to be here. I am so excited. I feel so good. I want to share something and I want to tell you, like, this is what I learned and this is how good I feel. And thank you for reading this. And I'm so happy to be here. That is the humble, true connection that you have when you're speaking to people and you honor their intelligence, you honor their power, you honor their time, you honor their wit. If you wouldn't be willing to post this in a group where everyone's more successful than you, it means you're writing it for the people who are less successful than you. And then you want to look at why you're doing that. When what you really want is to magnetize the high-paying clients, the ones who want your mentorship, the ones who are completely blown away by you, the ones who want to be your friend, the ones who are like at your level of power. That's really what we want. We want to talk to people and their power. And the only way to speak to people and their power is to imagine what would it be like if I were speaking into a room where I truly believed everyone in there was so powerful. Would this post fly in there? So tribe is a word that is like cultural appropriation. I actually learned that in the last year. So it's like indigenous tribes have the word tribe for a reason, and it's their word, and they've been through a lot. And tribe is one of their most cool things that they've got. It's one of their awesome words. It's one of their cultural pieces of magic that they have. But they have been hurt and mistreated for a very long time. So to leave out everything that's not good enough about them and then take their best stuff is all not right. So cultural appropriation is when you take something from people that have been, hurt and mistreated for a very long time, and you just take their best thing and run with it because it's cool or it sounds good. So I don't use the word anymore. I have learned, and it's best not to use it. You have no idea how much I love the posts for women who are more successful than you. Yes, this resonates so much. I'm so happy. Oh my God, I've been doing it all wrong. It's okay. All it takes is one moment of awareness, right? It is my pleasure. So we want to create a sense of true connection with people. And when you think about it just for yourself, how does it feel for yourself when you read a post where someone's either not talking to you because it feels like you don't belong in what they said to you. So just doesn't land because you can't get excited about what they just said because it was meant for someone else, which is often what happens when someone writes to lack of power. So when someone writes to lack of power, it's because they're trying to sell to them. We tend to want to sell to lack of power. We're afraid to sell to power, so we try to sell to lack of power. So either you're experiencing in your body, you're reading something from someone and you totally do not resonate with it whatsoever because it's not landing for you because you're in your power, so it's going right by you. Or worse, if it is for you, you actually feel a little bit like you're not good enough or you're being talked down to. Those are the things that are the most frustrating. So what we tend to see when people are trying to sell is they will either break people down a little bit or they will speak to them like they're dodo birds. So I'm speaking to you like you're a dodo bird because if you are a dodo bird, then I'm going to feel like I'm superior, in which case it's going to be a lot easier for me to sell to you because I don't feel like I'm allowed to sell to people who are more powerful than me. Because I was taught from an old paradigm of sales that you can't sell to people who are more successful than you. You've got to sell to the people who are struggling and the people who are suffering. So I'm going to speak to the turkeys. I'm going to speak to the dodo birds in hope that they feel their lack, their shame, and their not good enoughness and buy from me. This is like the old paradigm of selling. And it does not work in mentorship, but it works in the old coaching paradigm. Because if I'm going to teach you a 7-step process to something, the easiest way I'm going to sell you the 7 steps is to tell you that you suck without the 7 steps and to tell you about how hard life is going to be for you for the rest of time if you don't know these 7 steps, because without the 7 steps, you will never get this result. This is the old paradigm coaching mentality. Create a problem, solve it in your marketing. Or speak to the already existing problem and sell the solution, which basically means speak to dodo birds, speak to turkeys, stress people into buying, trigger their nervous system into panic, and then make that money. Make that money, baby. Sounds fabulous. What a fabulous model for human beings on this planet to feel safe and well. So wonderful, right? So we don't want to do that anymore. We don't want to do that anymore. What we want to do is be very well aware that everybody's good enough. Everybody's good enough. If people want to learn something, then the best person to learn it from is someone who's embodied. So if I'm not a very confident person, but I meet someone who's got this beautiful confidence and she's been through all these things in life, and now she's learned confidence and she wants to take me on a journey to help me embody my confidence because she's been through that journey and I can pay her to be my mentor to walk me through that and she'll teach me everything she's done. That's beautiful and it's co-creation. If I don't feel confident, but I'm going to speak to the also not confident loud person that's trying to sell me something that's super loud, that's a 7-step process to being confident, that if I don't buy it, I will feel like a tiny piece of poop for the rest of my whole entire life. And here are 27,000 testimonials of people who felt like poop and no longer feel like poop after the 7-step sequence. And here's a slow-mo video of all the people who didn't buy it, that are crying into their cornflakes. Like, this is the old paradigm marketing. But the new paradigm marketing is more of a very much like, we're already good enough. This is about elevating the world. So in the alpha femme world, in this new direction that I'm speaking to about, this is what I'm saying, like losing as an Olympian. You're not safe. We're not talking about if you don't buy this, you suck. We're not talking about if you don't learn this, you'll never thrive. We're not talking about if you don't buy this, you're not capable. We're not talking about you're never going to do this unless you learn this. That's not what we're doing. We're teaching collapsing time. You'll do it faster with me. We're talking about quality of life. You'll have more fun if you do it with me. We're talking about sisterhood. You'll do it with people. It'll feel a lot more fun. It'll feel more connected. These are all things that you can do without. The goal is not to do things that it's like, without this you die, without this you fail, without this you're miserable, without this you're a failure. These are the things that when we do that, we're like literally triggering old wounds from people and we're selling to the wounded part of people. And then we wonder why coaching relationships end poorly. Coaching in relationships often end the way they start. So if they started with manipulation and fear, they will end in manipulation and fear. If they start in mistrust and squeezing the last drop, they will end in mistrust and squeezing the last drop. But if they start in inspiration and power and leadership and self-decision, then they end that way too. Powerful endings. That's what the coaching industry needs more of. Women who know how to follow through on their commitments, not break their word halfway through because they changed their mind and this and that. Choosing a journey that's like, I choose this no matter what. I'm going to be the best freaking student. If I'm triggered, I'm going to work through it because I've already decided I am strong enough to play at this table, even though it's going to make me feel sad. Because I remember what it feels like to play Monopoly and lose, and I know how easily I'm going to freak out, and I know I'm probably going to project it on the mentor because it's part of the motherhood wound, and I'm aware because I'm emotionally intelligent, but I'm in. How long is the container? 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, whatever it is. Okay, I'm in. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be the best possible student. I'm choosing this for myself, not because I need it, not because I'm not good enough, because I desire it, because I want to go to the next level, because I'm playing for quality of life, no matter what. And when we get to the end, we're going to part ways, and it's going to be the most incredible journey where I walk with this piece of this person's heart forever, and I'm so grateful for our time together, and we wave goodbye at the closing. That's what mentorship's supposed to feel like when you're not taking the decision from fear and guilt and shame and pressure and all the things that are most often happening in this industry that don't have to be there. And it's not that everybody's doing it. A lot of people have already started this new enlightened path, which I'm very excited about. But this is the new way. It's the mentor coach, the one who's walked the path and also has some really beautiful, tangible things that she wants to share with you, but she's embodied. So in the meantime, while you're not fully embodied in your consciousness, there's the things like you've got to be the student and you're learning still. And the parts that you feel really confident that you've learned and you've embodied, you teach those parts. And the more you're embodied, the more your body of work will grow. And the more that becomes bigger and bigger, the more you're going to feel confident. And the more you're confident, the more. And that's when your leadership status is in the making. But too often people think in order to get any kind of client right now, I've got to pretend I'm a mentor right now. In order to get any kind of client right now, I've got to pretend I'm perfect right now. In order to have a client right now, I've got to do these things that are not embodied. Like I'm going to take somebody else's coaching program and change one sentence or add a word in the middle of it and call it mine. I'm not embodied yet, but it needs to look good or no one's going to buy from me. And I need to pretend I created this or else no one's going to buy from me. So what I really want to help you with, which is so mind-blowing, is how much money you can actually make by being a coach that helps people embody things that aren't even yours without trying to pretend they are. I think the biggest issue we've got right now is so many people think that they have got to create, they've got to be content creators in order to make money. And in fact, the people who create content that's not their content but call it their content so it looks like they have content make less money than the people who are the messengers of the pre-existing content but are able to help people embody it. If you literally said, I have taken programs with Tony Robbins, with Melanie Ann Layer, and with Gabby Bernstein. And the things I've learned in these 3 containers have changed my life. And what I do is I work with my clients to embody the work. So often people take books, they read them, it doesn't integrate. They take a program, it doesn't work for them, they don't integrate. What I do is I help people integrate the work of these 3 people, of Tony Robbins, Melanie Ann Layer, and Gabby Bernstein. I'm an integration coach. I help you do the work. I help you figure out in your mind what's in the way, what's the blocks. And we use some of the most mainstream information that's readily available because it's not the information necessarily that's the big thing. It's more so the transformation. So I'm going to be a transformational coach. I'm going to show you how I have, with these 3 people, changed my entire life. And I'm going to help you walk through that instead of going, I have this brand new program that's coming out tomorrow. It's called the calibration system keys. And it is $222. Believe it or not, that price I downloaded during the night. And it's all about being close to confidence, you know? When you're close to confidence in this, and then it's like, why isn't it working? I have so many answers to that question. Where would you like me to start? Because it would have actually made you more money to say, I took this program with a coach of mine that literally blew my socks off. But from that program, something came through for me and I want to share it. It was inspired by this coach, but I created this thing and I want to do this thing. That will make you sound more powerful than coming out on the internet with something that sounds exactly like something else. Exactly. The launch that failed because it looked like a copy. But there will always be people who are going to want to learn what you learned from what you learned. That's epic. I want to know, how did you... I went to a Tony Robbins event. And I didn't get what you got. How did you manage to do that from that? I'm so inspired by that. Instead of unleash the flame inside. All the content's the same. Why not just call yourself an integration coach? Why not start a mastermind where you tell people, I'm one of those people who reads a book and changes their life on the back end of that, and I want to show you how to integrate. I want to show you how to do that, so you're not calling something just like the money code or it's the same thing, one word changed. And then it's like, you feel like there's competition. There isn't competition. But unleash the flame inside and unleash the power within sounds so seemingly similar. And the issue is not that you used it. The issue is that nothing else came through and you didn't trust that you could just do something else. There are so many things that are available. You know, the universe has your nervous system. The universe has your nervous system. Namaste. The universe has your nervous system? Or Gabby Bernstein's work changed your life and you want to help people integrate what you've learned. You've got to be able to make that distinction. If there's nothing that's coming through for you, but someone else inspired your work, you got to get rid of the fear. The universe has your backside. You've got to be able to trust that your actual ability to create magic is not connected to your ability to create an innovative course name. Yeah, but she's rich and she created a really smart course name. Yes, but that course is also what's inspiring you to do this. So how do you branch out that? Okay. I want to see more embodiment coaches. Before I'm seeing, I just had this download and I'm like, did you happen to download that from the hard drive of my latest course? Because it sounds basically exactly the same. But I do, however, believe that you can take a course and it changes your life and that you're one of those people who got the information. And you're right that there's nothing that's completely original. There's nothing that's completely original. So you have to this is not a segment on making people feel guilty for reusing stuff. That's not it. What this is about is the feeling of inadequacy that comes with doing that when you know that you're feeling like you're rivaling something. If you don't feel like you're rivaling something, you feel really good with what you're doing, that's fantastic. But the embodiment coaches are what's missing, because embodiment coaches is what lead us to the magic. I was a coach for 5 or 6 years, 2013 to 4 years before I ever created a course. Never created a course. What did I do? I was a student. I learned things. I channeled some of the stuff. Other stuff was stuff that I learned elsewhere, and I helped people embody in their lives. But I didn't tell people that I invented it when I didn't. That's the most important piece. Embodiment coaches will make the most extraordinary mentors. You don't need to look so smart for people to want to buy from you. You don't need to make a groundbreaking discovery of a program for people to hire you. You don't need to have world-class graphics in order for people to hire you. All that stuff came for me after I had been embodied and I had helped people integrate this work over and over and over and over again. With no title, like Melanie Layer Inc. There was no Alpha Femme until 2017. My first program was the Impact Academy program in 2017. There were no programs. There was the embodiment work. walking with women and implementing real truths, doing the real work. And eventually I started to channel new things. And names for programs, it happened effortlessly. The stuff, it just came right through me. I didn't have to fight for it, and I didn't do it to prove that I was worthy. If you have stuff coming through for you, that's so exciting. But you don't need to do them in order to make money. You may be watching so many successful coaches right now, and you're like, I need to think of a name of a program that's better than that, or else I won't make money. My stuff needs to be better than that, or else I won't make money. Embodiment coaching is the path to leadership, is the path to mentorship. You get to be an extraordinary coach, separate. Hey, Corey Moyes just signed up for AFB. That's so exciting. You get to be so successful in the truth of who you are, and that gets to be effortless for you. And you don't have to be running after all these things. The marketing is not the same as the coaching. So if you don't know how to market, just copying someone else's marketing doesn't necessarily work, but it will work for some. And I'm going to tell you, this is really the real truth, and this is not as an insult. And if you learned anything from me in the last 2 days, it's that I am speaking to you now like we're playing darts with Kevin, my dad, James, and Tom. Like, I am not speaking to you like a small child learning to play a game. Like, you are okay. It is okay. Like, I trust that if you made it here for day 3, you're able to hear the hard stuff, and you may be triggered by me right now, and you might be like, well, it's easy for you to say. You've got all these amazing program names, and I feel like you're shaming people who copy. If you're doing that, please stop it, because that's not what I'm doing. You need to really feel my heart in this, because I want to help you. I want to help you make money, and this is what I needed when I started too. There were already the great things when I came in. Tony Robbins already existed. Amanda Francis already existed. Her coach already existed. There were already people making so much money on the internet when I came in. I came in with the manifestation babes and all these people making so much money. I came in to this world, there was already so much money being made. I had every reason in the book to think I couldn't do it, or to copy other people's stuff because I thought it was the only way I was going to do it. I did neither one of those things. What I did is I learned to embody my work until the work that was meant for me came through for me. When you do that, you don't need to tear people down. You don't need to copy people's work. You don't need to do that because you're actually integrating. Integration and embodiment are the hardest parts of the coaching. They're what make you the most valuable. People don't care so much what you know. They care what you know has done for you. So you know all the stuff. That's great. What has it done for you to know that? And when it's done miracles for you, they want to stick real close to you. Because you're one of those people who walks the talk. And that's what this profession is really about when we're talking about real success. The real success, it comes from embodiment. So I want to set you free from the hamster wheel of thinking you need to content generate in order to be a high-paying coach. Because it's not true that you need to be that. But what you do need to have in order to be a high-paying coach is you need to have integrity. And you need to be willing to tell the truth about things. That is embodiment. And having integrity about things is like anybody who's been through a program with me, like my exponential wealth. I talk about a conversation I had with Tony Robbins. I talk about an exercise that I did at my wizard camp in my with T. Harv Eker. Like, I talk about the parts that are not mine. And the parts that are mine, I talk about and I explain that they're mine. But we get to coexist together without pretending that every single thing we say was our idea. Like, oh, this I channeled yesterday while I was watching someone else's Facebook Live. That's not mentorship. That's the 7-step process. And this is where coaches make less than mentors. Because coaches make less than mentors because, yeah, they do understand the 7-step sequence. They do. But they don't know how it works for them, necessarily. Some do, But the coaching in the old paradigm is I learned the 7-step process either by ripping it off someone or by buying it from somebody. It's never worked for me, but I know people it's worked for. So I'm going to call it a different name and I'm going to sell it. And they make some money, but they don't make wealth. This industry will create so much wealth. And my desire is to help raise the collective vibe with integrity and standards. Because if you want to be one of those people that the channeling comes through, if you want to be one of those people who eventually is a messenger of your own thing, then you've got to learn to be an embodiment coach before you start. This is going to be the most powerful work. Unless something comes through you first and you got it effortlessly. But if you've got to fake it, steal it, tweak it, grab it, hide it, it isn't yours. And mentorship will not come to you if you do that. But there is so much power for you. Right now, you're good enough right now as an embodiment coach, as a deepening coach, as an accountability coach, as an integrity coach. Like the result, I help people be in integrity. And I've studied under the top mentors in the world in order to be able to do that. I have tools from Tony Robbins, Gabby Bernstein, Melanie Ann Lair. I have tools from all these top incredible human beings, Martha Beck. I'm certified. I've learned all these incredible things. And I help people through all these different modalities and all these different teachers how to get the result they want. You will make more money doing that than you will trying to sell a calibration system key. And even if you did make some money now from that, eventually you're going to run out of people to take from. Or eventually people will see the pattern. And when people see the pattern, things start to crumble. Because they might not notice it the first time or the second time or the third time, but eventually they might go, this looks a whole lot like everybody else's stuff. So, if you've done this at all, I want you to breathe. Because I also know that if there's somebody taking your stuff, copying your stuff, if you have done this, none of this is to hurt people. Everyone wants to help, and everyone wants to be free, and everybody wants to succeed. This is not done in malice. It's not. And that's hard sometimes to believe when it feels like someone's taking your stuff. It feels like you copied me, you stole from me. It doesn't come from that place. It doesn't. It comes from, I feel like I understand this and I should be able to use it because I think I can help a lot of people with it. So it's like, okay, how do we find the squeaky clean way to do that? Because changing the name and calling it your own is not the way. And I know deep down, we all know that. But the fear of our inadequacy causes us to do this. And it's like, it will not hurt me if people copy me. And it will not hurt you if people copy you. It won't. Louis Vuitton makes more money than makes normal sense in the world. And there are Louis Vuitton ripoffs all over the planet. And some people feel so happy having a fake Louis Vuitton that they will never be able to have a real Louis Vuitton, and they are so happy with the fake Louis Vuitton. But the people who love Louis Vuitton will never buy a copy, ever. Even if it looks so the same, they just will never do it. Everyone gets to succeed. Even if someone copies you, you will still be okay. I'm not saying this to try to prevent the copying for the people who are being copied. I'm trying to do this for the people who are copying because I know where it's coming from, and I know I want to give you different tools, better ways, and stronger ways. So we've raised the bar in this conversation, and sometimes it can be super triggering to hear all this because you may have done this a little bit and it may feel really bad. Don't worry about it. No one's mad at you anymore if they've been through this. We're not mad. I'm not mad. But you've got to decide now what. Okay, I've done that. Now what? Now what? Because now what is where your leadership begins. Yes, I did that. Yes, I've done that. Yes, this has happened. Yes, okay, now what? Now what? This is the most powerful thing. Your leadership begins with your ability to lead yourself. That's where it starts. And when you realize something isn't quite right, when you really notice it and when it hits home, that's the moment to lead yourself. It's easy to lead ourselves when it's easy. But when we realize something that feels really crappy inside, and we're like, oh my goodness, I don't like this. This feels awful. Ooh, I feel bad, I feel bad, I feel bad, I feel bad, I feel so bad. Okay? Now what? Because there's something on the other side of this. And we get to all arise on the other side of this. So I will say that the rules and the standards inside of the Alpha Femme group are going to raise yet again. And we're going to tighten the expectations of your understanding for many different reasons. So the Alpha team now is going to be super connected to their sacral when it comes to posts being let into the Alpha Femme group. If they are celebration posts, they will be let through. If they are posts about women who are like, I want to share something really, really amazing that happened to me and I feel so great, and at the same time, here's a good thing for everybody to learn. Like, here's what I've learned, here's a thing, and it's clean energy, because we can tell the difference. It will be let through. If, however, it's sneaky, it won't be let through. Now, I know what's going to happen is a lot of women who have not watched this training will continue to post sneaky things, and we're going to have to delete them. And they're going to message the Alpha team and say, hey, why isn't my stuff let through? Last week, there was another girl that posted a thing. That person, we will know for sure, was not listening to this training. And anyone who's inside of the Alpha Femme group and is not listening to the free trainings inside of the Alpha Femme group and is using the Alpha Femme group to post sneaky stuff inside of the Alpha Femme group after I've spent 3 days explaining it in the Alpha Femme group, it means that they are not here for the right reasons. So I'm going to feel very okay with not giving much explanation about this. We're going to rewrite the guidelines so that it's very squeaky clean. And if you write something that doesn't get approved, it will be one of those go read the guidelines kind of conversations. I want to raise your awareness to the next level, because my most important thing is that the women who really do things properly, to my standard, have a place to come and celebrate themselves. And that doesn't feel like a place you can be when you're constantly annoyed and triggered by what's being posted. It's not fun. So we're going to raise the standard, because the person that I'm most catering to in the Alpha Femme brand is the leader. Because the hardest thing when you are a leader is to find a place where you can be held. Because a lot of the leaders in the world, they lead and they don't have many people holding them. They give and give and give and give and give and give, and no one holds them. So what I want the Alpha Femme brand to be is not a place where people come to try to find people who are not as powerful as them and sell to them. What I want is a place where leaders collide, where leaders come together and raise the bar for each other, where leaders celebrate, where leaders are squeaky clean with their energy. That is what this space is going to be about. So we're going to raise the bar. That's the first thing I want to tell you today. Based on this conversation, I am so excited to see what kinds of posts are going to make it through here. But yes, like things that are questions, if you want to ask things for the community. But when you do share, and I hope you continue to share in this community, because I think it's one of the most beautiful things about the Alpha Femme brand. And the last thing I want is for you to stop. What I want is for you to celebrate as though you're celebrating in the group of the most intelligent human beings on earth. I love you, Loida. So I want you to celebrate in here like every woman in here is the wisest, smartest cookie in the world. You're not coming in here to pitch people. You're here because these are your people. It's going to change how you show up. And in that, I promise you, you will end up having more friends and more followers than if you do all the things you think people aren't noticing you're doing. You will be more. And if you learn how to coexist in this space, you will be one of the most powerful people in every space you ever walk into, ever, after this masterclass. Because people aren't held to a high standard. This is why we still have so many issues on the planet, is because even people in leadership positions aren't being held to leadership standards. It's easy to be a leader that leads followers, but to be a leader that leads leaders, You've got to be able to speak to people's intelligence. You've got to be able to speak to people's power. And that's one of the skills on earth people struggle with the most. I can lead you as long as I'm smarter than you. I can lead you as long as I'm richer than you. I can lead you as long as I'm prettier than you. I can lead you as long as I'm more than you. But as soon as you rival me in any area or surpass me, I'm triggered and I'm not good enough and I can't be here. And how women are going to change the world is in rising together in excellence, is in being able to say, I belong here with women and their power. Steph says, this has been one of the most challenging and lonely parts of my life. There's no one in my life to hold me and my standards. This is why, for me, this brand is so important, because this is one of the sayings that I really want to abolish. It's a very old masculine paradigm, but it's lonely at the top. That only happens when you don't know how to sit with leaders or be held by a leader, when you're only comfortable being one. So leadership is a multi-dimensional thing, and we have not been taught how to be held by a leader when we're a leader. We've been taught that as a leader, you should know how to do everything by yourself. We have not been taught how to coexist with other leaders. We've been taught when we're a leader, we're supposed to lead everywhere. So it's normal that you feel that way, Steph, and I think a lot of very powerful leaders feel like that it's lonely, but it doesn't have to be. And that's, for me, that's what this space is for leaders to feel like they have a place where they can be held. And we don't get to feel that when people are speaking down to or speaking to people like they're turkeys or whatever. We feel outside of it. That means so much. This is the revolution. I love that. I love that. This is so good. Okay. So our biggest issue on the planet right now is not that we're afraid of failing. Like, what causes us to fail in life is not our inability to win. What causes us to fail is not our inability to win. What causes us to fail is simply our fear of losing. So if you're going to be in a space with powerful people, your fear is not that you're not capable of being as good as them. Your fear is that you're going to fail around them. Because you are capable of being as great, or else you wouldn't have the dream to be. It's just we don't want the little failures that come in the way. We want to just be successful now. And that's the part we've got to be able to let go of. We have failure in our lives not because we're not capable of winning, but it's because we're too afraid of failing to ever find out what we're made of. Failing is not a problem. Failing is not a problem. And sometimes we're so afraid that one moment of failure is going to kick us off the pedestal that we needed in order to be hired. And in this paradigm and in this way that I lead and that I believe in, the pedestal helps none of us. So the fear is not to be kicked off the pedestal. The idea is to remove them. Is not to be put on some sort of holier than thou platform. It's in fact to show the humanity of every level and every woman. That's the most powerful part. Thank you for speaking to my comments. Why I chose you as my mentor this year, because you can hold me. I love you. You're awesome. So this is really the magic in all of this. It's the next level evolution. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing missing. We're playing in the field of dreams. When you walk into the Alpha Femme world, I'm not selling you safety. You've got to know you're safe when you come in here. I'm not selling you safety because you've got to be able to provide that for yourself. And if the work is still that you don't feel safe, that's your work first. Here, I want to teach you how to grow. I want to teach you how to fly. I want to teach you how to dream. I want to teach you how to lead. I want to teach you how to grow. I want to teach you the games that we play that make us happy. That is 2 universes away from safe. Safe is long gone by the time we get here. This is a different playing field. We're not talking about safe. We're talking about happy. So you can't be afraid to fail here. You're gonna. I want to show you how to fail forward so that your failures actually make you a stronger mentor. So that's a part of the puzzle for you. It's not about being terrified of what other people are going to think of you. The people who are judging you in life are most likely not as successful as you, because I don't know one enlightened, embodied, successful woman that looks down at a woman who's starting or trying, unless that woman is faking and pretending like she knows something she doesn't. But the real embodied beginner never gets looked down upon from the real embodied successful woman. So being in a community like this means you get to be seen at every level that you're at and respected at every level that you're at, because embodied women do not judge beginner embodied women. It does not happen. It just doesn't. We are so proud. Like, I am so proud when I see a woman who's not the smartest woman in the room yet, who's put everything on the line to be here. I get butterflies in my soul for you. I'm like, oh. Like, yes, this is the courage that's required for this to be incredible. Like, you are incredible. That's how it feels to me. Never like, oh, here's a small person with small questions who doesn't know. No, like, you're willing to come play here. You have got lady balls. This is amazing. You're willing to come play here. You have a courage of steel. Like, I look up to you. I'm so proud. And that's what we need to rewire. This is not about the most powerful ones or the most successful ones. This is everyone has power. Because the personal power required to start from nothing is astronomical. And the pressure from the circumstantial power that is expected when you're already successful sometimes goes against you. So then it requires personal power. So it's all in this energetics of power and how to hold it and how to sit with it and how to not put it on a pedestal and not how to vilify it and how to attract it and calibrate to it. Like, these are the real conversations. These are the real conversations. And what I hope you've experienced in being these last 3 days with me is what kind of actual conversation is available on the planet. This isn't just about what to do, although those parts get to be important as well. But this is about an energy that gets lit up inside of you in conversations where you're like, I can do big things. I can do the things. I can be here. I can do this. I feel it. Like, oh my gosh, where have I been? What have I been doing all this time? Like, I'm awake. I see it. I feel it. I trust it. I get it. Okay, I did that. I'm not very proud of me that I got that. But now Melanie's not this big bully because she told me on the masterclass that I signed up for in her free group that she runs that it's probably best that I don't do that. She's not a bully because she did that. Even though I might feel like a little chicken nugget and I'm ashamed and I'm afraid, now what? Does someone need to be the bully? Does someone need to be the problem every time I feel bad? Or do I get to take radical self-responsibility at some point and say, I put myself in that masterclass because something isn't working for me and I want to be shaken up? I was ready for someone to call me out because I would have kept doing that for a really long time. So it felt like absolute crap. And also, now what? I'm here to help you rise, but I won't take 3 hours to tell you something I can tell you in 3 minutes, just in case it hurts your feelings, because if it hurts your feelings, it means you care. I'm not going to make this so dumbed down that it doesn't hurt you, because the truth is, when it hits your heart, it hits home. It's the things we care about we change the fastest. So it's okay to not always feel good. This is not about, does it feel good all the time? Is it perfect all the time? It's like, come on, ladies. We are bigger than this. We're stronger than this. We're capable. We're strong. We're so capable. And it's really time to rise now. Like, what can we hear? What can we change? What can we do? Now what? Because this is the real work now to get to the next level. So I'm so grateful that we had this conversation right as the expectations in this group are going to change and the quality of the posts that are going to be allowed through are going to change. And it's really going to up level. Things are going to up level in this community. And I'm really grateful that you've been here. And I knew I had to do this one in this group because this is one that's, masterclass that's going to stay in here. So if you ever forget, you get to plug back in it and watch it. We have the masterclass, Melanie for President. We have the masterclass, net worth of your network. We've got the wait list in here, and then the trifecta masterclass and this one. So you'll be able to click back into this whenever you need it, and it'll be there for you. And I'll still have pop-up masterclasses, but this one you actually get to continue to plug into for quite a while. It's going to be available for you inside of this group container. So this has been very for me. I'm feeling from this masterclass fired up. So I want to have a conversation with you about the coach program because it's the next program that's going to start. And I want to talk to you about why I love this program and why I think it's an incredible investment of a program. And I want you to know that it doesn't really matter where you're at in your coaching journey. What matters more is where you're going. So if your thought about being a coach is just that you want to leave your job and just do some coaching, I wouldn't recommend the coach program, because it's not one of those programs where you're just like, I want to just learn how to leave my job. It doesn't matter where you start though. What matters is where you want to go. So if you take this program because you want to do some real legacy work, because you want to learn how to go from embodiment coach, like how to really get paid properly throughout your entire career, what kinds of containers you can run, not so you can implement them all tomorrow, but so that you can actually evolve over time in your coaching practice, since this is a program that has lifetime access. So I'm going to teach you all the parts inside of this program so that you can plug back into them when you need them. And when it is time for you to do a mastermind, you get to watch the mastermind part. And when it is time for you to do one-on-one coaching, you get to do that part. And when it is time for you to run a mastermind, you go and do that part. And when it is time for you to do whatever it is, you do that part. So you're going to have lifetime access to it. So the coach program right now is $4,444. Mariko's in the coach bundle. And inside of this coach program, it's 30 days with me inside this program. It's mostly live. Some modules will be longer, some modules will be shorter, but there's going to be stuff to do every day for 30 days. If you don't want to do it all in 30 days, it's fine. You have lifetime access to this program. This is a big one. $4,444. In 2 days from now, the price will change to $5,555. You have lifetime access to this. The question I would ask you is just this. Do you believe that you're capable of making $4,444 in your coaching business? If the answer is yes, this is a no-brainer offer. If you plan on making more than $4,000 in your coaching business, this program will be like my voice in your ear for the rest of your life if you want it to plug back into. Coach was not always lifetime access. This round is lifetime access. So if you want to really plug into something that's got you for life, like you will not drop your standards. You're basically creating an environment for yourself where at any moment where you feel like, even if it's 10 years from now, you can plug back into this magic. It's really extraordinary. And I'm going to talk to you about all the containers, how to create something like the AFE. What's the difference between something like a prosperity code or le narrateur or femme fatale, or like what's the difference between all these different containers? What's the psychology behind them? Why do different people like to buy different kinds of things? What's the difference between a mastermind? What's the difference between the matrix and the hypermind? How my coaching has changed throughout the time, from the beginning being a one-on-one coach to what it's like being a one-on-one mentor now. What's that like? Now, the one question we have heard the most over the last little while is this, and yes, it is live, it's mostly live. There's a few things that are pre-recorded, but there's a piece of content that drops every single day, right? One thing that I've been asked over and over again is this part of the AFE? Like, what if I'm in the AFE? Do I get this? Yes. So inside of the Alpha Femme experience, you get everything. Everything. Right now, there is not one thing that is not included inside of the Alpha Femme experience. You get it all. Everything. So right now, the Alpha Femme experience is $15,555. And in a couple of days, the coach program will be $5,555. So this program alone is worth like a third of the Alpha Femme experience, but you get everything with me for a year when you're in there, which is crazy. Crazy amazing. So the most amazing thing about the AFE is it can be paid in full for $15,555, or if you want to pay it in installments, you can do 12 monthly installments of $1,555. This means $1,555, 12 installments every month. It's one payment of $1,555, but whatever happens that month, you get access to all of it, which means for $1,555 this month, you would get access to the narrateur, you would get access to the calibration key, you would get access to coach. Now, this is a bundle of all the programs, so you've got to be in for the whole year. This is a very important part of the puzzle. Is you can't just do it and be like, oh, I'm AFE, I'll do all those things and I'll quit next month. You can't do that. It's a year-long bundle. But if this is something that you want to do, it gives you access to all the things, and anything that's lifetime access, you still get lifetime access to being in the AFE. So when calibration keys lifetime access, you get lifetime access. When coach is lifetime access, you get lifetime access inside of the AFE. So if you feel like that might be right for you, this is an incredible opportunity to jump in, because the coach program is a part of the AFE. Now, this program historically has run once a year, once last year, once this year. I don't know what happens after this year, because this is going to be the last live round, that's for sure. So it's probably not going to be a part of the AFE the way it is, because AFE is live programs. So there's some things that are changing. This opportunity is an incredible one, and there's always going to be great opportunities, because my goal is always to make everything better and better and better, and it's because I'm making space for an incredible program that I've got to remove some of the programs from AFE, because I've got new things coming through and we're running out of space. So if it feels like you want to be a part of this, you're going to have so much fun with me, and you get all of the things. So if that feels like fun, you can reach out, you can ask the Alpha team how to sign up for the Alpha Femme experience. We do have the coach bundle that's still available. The coach bundle right now is $7,777, and it includes Impact Academy, Coach, and the cash program that comes next after Coach, which is the one where I teach you how to sell. And that's a really cool bundle, because it basically shows you social media marketing plus how to coach plus how to sell, which is a really cool triple bundle. And as a bonus, it's le narrateur and calibration keys included, which is pretty cool. So there's different things that you can purchase. If you need support, you can message the Alpha Femme team on Messenger. We've also put in the announcement sections links for the coach program, le narrateur, cash. So if you go onto the coach program at the bottom, when you go to check out, the coach bundle will be available there for sale. But if you reach out to the Alpha team for links, they will also happily send them your way. This is really just a question of, do you want to grow your business this way? It's not a question of, are you capable or not without it? That's not what this is. This is, do I want it like this? Do I want to become a coach like that, at this standard, at this level, and this with this feeling in my belly? Do I want to be a coach that feels this way about my work? Do I want to be a coach in this kind of environment? Do I want to be a coach that's held to this kind of standard? Do I want to be a coach that doesn't forget these principles? Do I want to be a coach that knows these things? And if the feeling being in my world is that you feel elevated, alive, awakened, these are the decisions that you do, not because you're not good enough without them, but because of quality of life. Just like, this is more fun. This makes me want to do it. This will make me show up for myself. This will make me have more integrity, more gumption, more follow through. This is exactly what I want in order to take myself to the next level. And sometimes we look at things like this and our thoughts like, okay, in this moment, is this a good idea to purchase for me right now? And it's like, do I have the money right now? Is this a good idea right now? Again, the question I would ask myself, if it's a question of do I do this or not, is do I believe, or is it my desire to make that kind of money back within the next year or so of my life? Do I want to make $4,000 or more in my coaching business? I would hope so. We're talking about 6-figure months right now. Do I want to make more as an entrepreneur than $15,000 in a year? Yes, I do. So the Alpha Femme experience holds you at the very minimum, you make that back, you experienced it all for free, and that knowledge will continue to pay you beyond the container. So it's not about needing it. If you're tapping into yourself to try to see if you need it, you won't find it. I hope you don't, because that's not how I sell. The way I sell is I don't create lack. I create abundance. But the thing is, in the world, very often, abundance feels like lack when we're on the wrong frequency. And what I mean by that is when we are on the frequency of lack in our life, even abundance sometimes feels like lack. Because sometimes we'll find a way to not have the time for it. Oh my gosh, I could have all that for this price. I have the money, but there's too many programs. Maybe I won't have the time. You know, if you want to do it so it pays you off, and this is a good question, like, is it good for beginners? If it's not about how far are you into the game, the question is, where do you want to go? So if you're a beginner and your goal is to just dabble, then no. But if you're a beginner and your ideal is, let me calibrate to excellence from the beginning, then yes. It's all about where you're going, not where you are. It's possible to have abundance and feel like lack. It's possible to walk into a buffet and already feel sad that you can't eat everything that's there because there's not enough space in your belly. Or it's possible to walk into a buffet and see all the choices and get so excited that you can have whatever you desire. So in my world, it is the frequency of abundance, but sometimes that feels like lack. So you got to figure out what you're going to calibrate to. It's only a year. It's this. How do you find the frequency of abundance in your body? Because what I'm really offering you in the AFE is a whole year to calibrate to every frequency that matters in entrepreneurship and as a woman, all of them. It's how I lead myself in a year. There's not one thing that I would lead myself or my clients through that I wouldn't be taking you through. It's a whole year together. It's crazy, the price. It's so good. And the coach program for lifetime access, it's like every single thing you need to know to create a multi-million-dollar coaching business, and you get to experience it this round live with me. Is it possible that you don't need all of it right now? Yep. Is it possible that you're not yet ready to run a mastermind? Yep. But might you be ready in 10 years from now? Yes. So there's so much power in these decisions because they're decisions that you make for yourself now and later. They're not just decisions that you make just because, should I do it this month? Do I have the time? Is this convenient? These are elevated decisions that you make from desire for yourself now and later. These are where you lead yourself. You lead yourself to the decision, and then you meet me where I'm at and we go together. And it's so much fun. If it's not possible for you to join any of these programs and you want to start somewhere, you're like, I want to do something, but these are too big. 4444 is just not possible. The AFE is just not possible. The Narrateur on the 15th, we're going to do module 2. It's going to be amazing. The first one's already up to watch. That is a really amazing program. The feedback I'm getting, the storytelling and public speaking and how to nail it on camera, it's a really fun program, and it's pinned to the announcement section, so you can buy that one for $444, and there is a payment plan. And if you want to plug into the latest calibration key, if you liked this conversation, it's going to take you to the next level. It's so, so powerful, and that one's also pinned in the announcement, the calibration key. So if you need to start there, start somewhere, that's a perfect place to go. And if actually none of it is possible, the most you can lead yourself is to the free things, then I feel honored and privileged that you were able to spend this time with me. And I feel grateful that you chose this masterclass above all the other things that you could have done over the last 3 days. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. And to whatever capacity we continue, whether it's just following me on social media, or whether it is jumping into one of the smaller offers, jumping into the coach program, the bundle, or the AFE, wherever we go next, I'm excited. For those of you who are inquiring about my big mastermind or my private coaching, you would go through the Alpha Femme team for that. Oh, Vanessa, your payment cleared. Vanessa, if you're still on here, your payment has cleared. So I'm going to message you after this. As you move forward in your life, the biggest gift I can give you for the world, and there will be a Q&A. There will be a Q&A, and I'm going to explain to you also for the iPhone, who's going to win the iPhone and how to participate for the iPhone draw. So there's still a few more things that are going to happen in here. What I really want you to take away from this, and what's really important, is that when you know that it's coming from a place of fear, lack of being seen, fear that you're not good enough, that you're misunderstood, that you need to push, that you need to show, it's just that you're not quite embodied fully yet, and that's okay. You don't need to pretend that you are. Most people aren't. And you only need to be embodied. Yes, we too are. We too are, Vanessa. You only need to be one step ahead of someone who wants to see that step being taken. And you are that already. You're worthy already. So it's just a question of owning that one step at a time until you're completely embodied and self-actualized. And you will get there. You will get there. And when you walk into a room like this, and you're not the smartest person in the room, or the richest person in the room, or the wealthiest person in the room, then good. It's good to have one place in life when you are not. Own your power here. The world deserves this version of you, the one where you look at people with power and you feel at home there. Because if you learn how to walk into a room with people that are so powerful, and you learn to hold your space there, you become one of the most excellent people at holding people that are coming into the space after that. And that's a gift, to be able to see people at every level of power like real human beings, without the turning up your nose at people, like really seeing people in their power at every level. That is a gift. And that's what mentorship really is about. So I hope you took away so much from this masterclass. I hope in these 3 days you've learned about yourself, about your work, about the way you show up, about your standards. I hope it's made a difference for you. And beyond that, I really hope to see you active in my world, wherever it is, whether it's on social media or in a program. I want to see you have everything you've ever wanted and more. Erica Russo bot coach. Yay! It's so exciting. I'm so excited. Annette, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Thank you, 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 thank you so much for this. This has been fantastic. If you need anything, just message us on Messenger, myself or the Alpha Femme team. We've got your back. And stay tuned for Q&A and the iPhone draw. Thank you so much. I will see you soon. Bye, ladies.